Imagine a vast metropolis with cutting-edge infrastructure in the heart of the American West's desert with precisely planned highways and streets crowded with self-driving electric cars. Welcome to Unleash Billions, the channel dedicated to exploring the lives and business strategies of the most successful entrepreneurs and business leaders in the world. So join us as we uncover the secrets of the billionaires and learn how you can unleash your own success. Let's get started. A metropolis with the size and diversity of New York, the connectedness and efficiency of Tokyo, and the sustainability and governance of Stockholm. A crazy multi-billion-dollar scheme to build a futuristic city with the same scope and aspirations as the Line in Saudi Arabia. Today, we'll examine Telosa, America's version of the Line, a future metropolis. Telosa is a planned metropolis that aims to not only be the city of the future, but also a whole different model for society. These proposed megacities are a response to the increasing global issues of overpopulation, pollution, and climate change, and are conceptually similar to mega-projects like Saudi Arabia's NEOM. By starting from scratch and planning a vibrant metropolis that is inclusive, resilient, sustainable, and equitable for all of its citizens, these future cities hope to reinvent what it means to build a city. The word Telosa, which means the greatest purpose, is derived from the ancient Greek word telos. Telosa was created by American entrepreneur Mark Lohr and was made public in September 2001. Lohr made the bold announcement to build the planned metropolis of Telosa soon after resigning as president and CEO of American retail giant Walmart. With this ambitious project, he wants to make the future more fair and sustainable so that it can serve as a model for future generations. The world-famous Danish architect Bjarke Ingels will be in charge of the overall design of Telosa. In the past, Toyota hired him to design a smaller smart future city in Japan. Lohr says that the main idea behind Telosa and the reason why it is being planned in the first place is to make a city that is built around the needs of the people. At the moment, more than half of the people in the world live in cities. By the year 2050, this number could reach as high as 70%. Because of this, cities have become important places for millions of people to get an education, do research, and find jobs. Even though cities have helped a small number of people grow, not everyone directly benefits from this growth. Lohr and Telosa are trying to find a way to stop this growing wealth gap. The goal is to build a city where everyone has the same chances to grow, no matter how much money they have or what culture they come from. The core of the strategy is an economic framework called equitism, which aims to realize this ideal of equality. The purpose of this method is to establish a neighborhood where residents will directly profit from urban development. Telosa will own the entire city's land under this structure, and its residents will have the ability to construct and sell homes on top of it. In an ideal world, land values will increase as the city does. The money raised will subsequently be used to fund public services, transportation, education, and healthcare throughout the city. As a result, the equality objective of ensuring that all residents have access to high-quality service is realized. The people behind Telosa aim to develop the city on arid terrain in the American West in the states of Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Arizona, or Texas, though the exact location has not yet been chosen. The city's location somewhere near the Appalachian region in the east is another factor. But why are they proposing to construct Telosa in the middle of a desert when there is so much land available in the United States? The fact that there is a ton of inexpensive and easily accessible undeveloped property in the American West is one of the primary justifications for this choice. This inexpensive land also has the potential to pay for itself over time as the city expands, according to Telosa's strategy to invest rising land values back into city services. Telosa will eventually be built on land that is reasonably inexpensive, although it isn't the best or most wisest choice to develop a booming metropolis in the middle of a desert. These issues that Telosa might have in the future have been well demonstrated by Saudi Arabia's recent building on NEOM and the Line. NEOM's construction is already running behind schedule. It was initially intended to be partially finished by 2020 and built upon in 2025. It turns out that in order to build on undeveloped desert terrain, operating facilities must first be built in order to house construction workers and their tools in the harsh environment. High heat, water scarcity, and the energy impact of building a new city from scratch in a difficult environment are among additional issues that NEOM and the Line are currently confronting. Additionally, Telosa will be entirely powered by renewable energy sources. Photovoltaic cells will be erected on the roofs of every structure in the city, and Telosa will also be powered by wind turbines that have been positioned in strategic locations within the city's borders. The city is designed to produce more energy than it uses, making it a self-sufficient metropolis in terms of generating electricity. The Ecotism Tower, the city's highest building and an iconic landmark that will act as a beacon for the city, will also be at the center of Telosa. An observation deck, an elevated water storage system, and aeroponic farms that will provide the city with fresh produce will all be housed in the tower. Telosa's structure takes into account an urban planning and transit system that allows inhabitants to always be just a 15-minute commute from important sites and amenities like workplaces, schools, parks, stores, and restaurants. Telosa will use a combination of well-planned transportation systems and autonomous electric vehicles in contrast to the line, which will be entirely pedestrian-centric and prioritize public transit. The superblock concept of urban design, whereby heavy traffic is concentrated over the perimeter of the block while bikes and slowly moving EVs will be given priority on inner roadways, will be used by the city. This accomplishes two objectives. First, it ensures that people can move between blocks with ease, and second, it keeps residential neighborhoods far enough away from busy streets to minimize noise pollution. Telosa's building will be done in two stages. The first phase's completion date of 2030 is a lofty goal. By this stage of construction, the city would be able to accommodate 50,000 people over an area of 6 square kilometers, or roughly twice the size of Central Park in New York. After it is finished, the second phase of the development will take 40 years to finish building the rest of the city. By this time, it is anticipated that the metropolis will house over 5 million people, covering an area of more than 120 square kilometers. Telosa will be comparable in size to San Francisco, but will have more than 6 times as many residents residing in the same region. The project is expected to cost up to $400 billion in total, with grants from the federal and state governments and prospective private investors providing the majority of the cash. Unlike Telosa, which is entirely supported by Saudi government and its sovereign wealth fund, the line in Saudi Arabia is thought to cost a similar $500 billion. Mark Lore and his team must overcome one of the main challenges with the development of planned communities like these in order to realize Telosa's incredibly ambitious plan and vision for the future. Obtaining billions of dollars in loans from the government and private investors to accomplish a vision that might not be fully realized is not precisely simple. Even though Telosa claims to be different and that its citizens would be at the center of the city's growth, a sizable number of money will still be required before this ridiculous mega project can even get off the ground. However, despite all the mounting environmental and financial difficulties and the fact that more than a year has passed since the project was first announced, Mark Lore and his team remain optimistic and committed to realizing their goal of creating the most inclusive and sustainable city in the world by the year 2030. What do you believe Telosa would be able to do that NEOM couldn't? Do you believe Telosa will ever be fully constructed? Tell us in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Unleash Billions. And if you haven't already, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Remember, success is within your reach, so unleash your inner billionaire. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video.